In the early morning hours of November 13th, 1974, one Amityville house on Long Island, New York, became more than a mere suburban home. It became a ghastly crime scene as Ronald DeFeo Jr. went through the hallways with a rifle, killed his parents and 4 of his siblings in their sleep. Now, that was in 1974. I went there a couple of years later, 1975, maybe 1976. And to this day, I remember the address of the house that I trained the dog at next door. The house where this occurred was 112 Ocean Avenue, Amityville, Long Island. The dog I trained was at 114 Ocean Avenue, Amityville. I was right next door. Did I get the dog trained? That was the fastest basic training job I ever did in the history. And I made sure that dog was so good when I finished with him that they would never call me back for a brush-up lesson, or they would never call me back for another. I even remember what kind of dog it was. Remember, one of the first designer breeds was called a cockapoo, a cocker spaniel and a poo. This was a cockapoo, and it was one of the first designer breeds. And just being next to the house was freaky enough. Hearing voices, yes I did, was freaky enough. But the difficulty I had getting the dog to focus was even freakier. I'm assuming a lot of you remember the Amityville Horror story. I grew up on Long Island and I was the only dog trainer at that time, so I was pretty busy. So this is actually even before I started my school. Now, when I started working with the dog, I knew about the Amityville Horror. I was not aware that it was the house next door. I found out a little bit later. And I still went there, and I'm telling you, the hair would stand up on my arms and the back of my legs. But that's not the important point. I would take their cockapoo out and do its basic training on the street. The dog would not go past that house. The dog would look at that house and just freeze. I mean, totally freeze. Me, as the behaviorist I am, would read the dog's body language, and I knew there was nothing but incredible fear in this dog. Yet, if I turned around and walked the other way, or crossed the street and walked past the house from the other side of the street, the dog was happy-go-lucky. He was fine. He was like Boomer and Benji, but not by that house. In fact, people that bought that house only stayed there for a month or two and they left because things were flying. I'm telling you, whether you believe or not, I know the Amityville Horror freaked me out. I believe that I don't know what it was. I don't know, I'm kind of not from Missouri. You kind of still got to show me. But I'm telling you, there was something haunted about the Amityville Horror House. And let me tell you, I would never, ever, ever, ever go back there now. True story. True story.